right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. In this one, I'm joined by none other than Tyson from Let's Talk Jets Radio. What's going on, man?
Patriots week, man. Thank you so much for having me. I am all fired up already. It's only Thursday.
I know, dude. I was just
Wednesday.
about to ask you, man. Like, how are you feeling, bro? Like 5-2, late October, October 26th. I mean, this is crazy. I feel like all of Jet Nation kind of assumed that the Jets were going to be a lot better this season, but man, 5-2 is crazy to me.
I don't think anybody expected 4 wins in a row. The way they're doing it with great defense, exciting players, ultimate momentum, and now it's like we all bought in. Like the culture, the identity. You had this defense, and now it's like this. Like it's a big game feel. Like we haven't had this in a long time, man. Where it's like you can't wait for football Sunday.
Yeah, man. I mean the wins in Denver, in Green Bay, they're awesome, right? Especially that game against the
Yeah,
Dolphins, but and we were talking about this on your stream just a second ago, but this game just feels a little different. Like
yeah,
it's just the bitter rival. I was watching the Dodgers Padres series back in the playoffs, and they kept saying like the Padres wanted to slay the dragon up north, and
yeah.
this kind of feels like the same thing. Like New England is not a bad team by any means; they're 3-4, but there are some issues with the team. And, I feel like the Jets have not been this good literally since 2015. I mean,
It just feels personal, dude. This game just feels personal for the Jets. Like this is our arch rival. They've won like 12 in a row. They blow us out at home. They embarrass us. They enjoy embarrassing us. They call us the homecoming game. Like we've been discounted by the Patriots for years. And this is like your statement to push back now. Like you're pushing back the bully. Like I don't care about records in this game. Like I don't care if they were 3-4, 4-3, 1-6. I don't care. Like this game is personal for the Jets. Like this is your statement. You're underdogs at home and you've won 4 in a row. That
that
speaks volumes enough to me right there.
that's nuts to me, man. I mean, like I get being underdogs in Denver and Lambeau, but
Yeah.
to come back home as a 5-2 football team, to play a team that just got demolished by, multiple scores against the Bears on Monday Night Football, short
Yeah.
week for them. And the Jets are the underdogs. To me, it doesn't make any sense. It honestly
No.
does. It's honestly a little disrespectful. I mean, I know the Vegas people know their stuff, but I
Yeah.
mean, man, underdogs for real, like at home is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the Jets have a lot to build off on, and they have a lot of momentum. They have a lot of really good things. They're home, and it's like, and you're seeing all like they're getting awards, like Sauce Gardner, Defensive Player of the Week. You're seeing all these great things happening. And I just don't understand why they get discounted by so many people. And maybe it's because the quarterback and the way the offense is playing, and possibly the injuries. The Brees Hall injury is really big. Elijah Vera Tucker, but that's the NFL, man. You watch teams all throughout the NFL. Everybody's got offensive line issues. Everybody's got like it's next man up, and the Jets have depth. Like they're bringing in guys, they're doing good things. I think they can hold their own now with pretty much anybody.
Yeah, and I feel like at this point in the season, like everybody's just getting hurt. Like JC Jackson's out for the year too, DK
Yeah,
Metcalf, like all these different guys got hurt like the same day that game day, right? AVT,
yeah,
Brees Hall,
yep,
Corey Davis, like everybody's getting hurt these days. It's great. And I mean, even the Patriots have injuries as well. I mean, it's just nuts. But we talked about the defense. Not only is it just loaded and it's young and it's just
yeah,
everything with the defense, I just feel like is looking up. There's no anchor there. With the offense, there's a couple things that we'll talk about in a
yeah,
second, but with the defense, I feel like it's just, sky's the limit. Every single week, they're just shutting out opposing quarterbacks, shutting out,
yeah,
opposing offenses.
yeah.
Where do you feel about like where do you stand with this defense? I mean, do you think it's one of the best, if not the best in the league?
It's got to be top five, man. I mean, they have
Yeah.
so many layers to them. It's like you have a relentless pass rush where you can rotate in pass rushers. Like you could bring in Jacob Martin, you could bring in Michael Clemens, you could bring Jermaine Johnson's coming back. Vinny Curry comes in, instant contribution. Like and Quinton Williams is playing at like all pro level. He has been. I mean, he's getting double teams, shaking double teams, still making plays. Carl Lawson's becoming the player we all thought he was going to be. He shook off the rust, and now he's completely disruptive. And then you have two shutdown corners. And like I'm a DJ Reed fan, man. I love what DJ Reed brings into, but Sauce Gardner as a rookie, dude, is playing like a top corner in the NFL. Like he's a Pro Bowler. And it's not like us being fans saying that. Richard Sherman saying it. Like legitimate NFL corners are watching him. That Hall of Famers are watching him saying this kid's technique is ridiculous. And his commitment to get better on a weekly basis is there. It's not he doesn't take anything for granted. So when you have two good corners that can pretty much shut down whoever they want, you can be more aggressive with your defense. You can blitz. You can stop the run. Like it's exciting, man. And they can take over a game. They can disrupt the game, take over a game. I mean, they stole Aaron Rodgers' soul. I mean, you saw
Yep.
like you literally watch them wear people out. And if you play a team like the Patriots, that is not like the same old high flying Patriots. They're a good team. They're well coached, but like you could take advantage of matchups with defense, which in the years past we couldn't do that.
Well, another thing too that I think is really cool about this like Salah led defense is the fact that nobody's getting worse. Like literally
Yeah.
the entire roster, or sorry, the entire defensive roster is getting better. Like I
Yeah.
can't think of one player on the defense and think to myself like, oh man, he's having a down season, or
Yep.
this guy's horrible. The Jets got to part ways with him. They got to
Yep.
figure out what's going on with the trade deadline. We got to ship this guy out of town.
Yeah.
Literally not one issue like that.
Nope.
And you talked about the defensive line, the pass rush, the corners, but even the linebackers too, man. Like CJ
Yeah.
Mosley, I mean, this guy continues to dominate.
Yeah.
Quan Alexander, 1 year, $1 million. He's playing lights out. Like
Yeah.
you could just tell, like the swag, the confidence, like everything about Quan is 1000% worth $1 million. And then Quincy Williams on the other side, like he's actually my favorite player on the defense. Just he hits so hard,
Yeah.
and at times he could get flagged and stuff like it works against him. But
Yeah.
man, I love Quincy. I feel like he really sets the tone for the defense.
Yeah, I love Quan, man, because Quan's another tone setter, and he has that emotion, that passion, that energy, and it resonates with everybody. Like you have guys like that, they all feed off it. And Quincy Williams is like instant energy. He has the speed they need because Quan's really good and CJ's good, but Quincy's fast, man. Like he can fly around a little bit, and it's just like it's like infectious. And then you have like Jordan Whitehead can put. He's started off slow. He was injured too, but he's a thumper. He makes big hits. Like up the middle. Like usually you have like Quentin Williams, Mosley, Whitehead. They can whip, push around a little bit. And it's exciting, man. And they're relentless. Like they don't quit. Like in the fourth quarter, they're closing out games. And like in the past with Rex Ryan's defense or even Todd Bowles, whatever that defense was, the Jets never closed out games on defense. That was the biggest thing. Like they always fell apart before half and never closed out games. This team in the fourth quarter closed you out. Like either Carl Lawson gets a sack, Quan makes a big stop. Like they're finding ways, Sauce Gardner gets a pass breakup. They're finding ways to shut you out and get you off the field.
It's totally awesome, man. Dude, I cannot wait for Sunday.
Yeah.
This team's winning football games. They're doing it. I mean, they beat down the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau. They absolutely destroyed the Miami Dolphins, Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. I mean, there's a lot of notable in Cleveland. There's a lot of notable wins here. But the one thing about this team is the offense. Will it pick up the slack a little bit? I mean, I don't think anybody's asking the offense to mirror what the defense is doing. Like, oh, we need a top 5 defense and a top 5 offense. Yeah. I think people are really just asking for an average offense. And if we get that average offense, top 20, I think that's fair given the talent and everything like that. And also, yes, these guys are young, but Zach Wilson's been here for, he's played a solid amount of games so far. And he didn't have a guy like Conklin and Garrett Wilson and that defense. Oh, my light just died. Didn't have, the amount of talent that he did last season. I think people are just expecting, an average offense. I think if we get that, this team is going to look totally, totally different in a good way. Where do you stand right now with the offense?
Completely agree. But the biggest challenge is the offensive line. Like, what are you going to get from the offensive line? Now that Elijah Vera Tucker's out, can they hold their own? Can they run the ball? And I think it's going to fall on Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's played okay, but you got to get more out of him. You got to get more impact plays, more consistent plays, all the short, the easy throws he's got to make, and keep the chains moving, keep your defense off the field. And I think they have enough playmakers to do that. I think it's on the floor to scheme a little bit better. I think his scripted plays always seem like they're rough. They don't seem easy. And then they make adjustments at halftime, then it flows a little bit more. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think Zach's going to have to play better. I think Belichick's going to challenge him. He's going to, say, listen, you got to beat us. If everybody knows just want to run the ball, Carter, Robinson, Ty Johnson, whoever it is, everybody knows it. But Belichick's smart to say, what, I'm going to take that facet out of your game. Can Zach and Mike LaFleur beat me? And that's going to be the key. And I think that's going to be the key going forward too. Like even with the Bills, same thing,
Yeah, 100%. And man, it's tough because like you watch a guy like Zach and he has the physical tools and he has the mobility and the arm strength and the quick release. And, he does fit the system and he's been here for, like I said, a good chunk of games. It's not like he's Bailey Zappi and he's like learning on the fly and he's only been here for 3-4 games and that's it. With Zach Wilson having a couple performances, I would say, subpar, like 120 passing yards and stuff like that. Granted, he's not turning the football over. And I think that's the most important thing out of all this. And also understanding that he's playing some pretty good defenses in Green Bay and Denver here. Where do you stand with Zach Wilson right now? Like confidence level wise, 1 out of 10.
That's a really good question, man. You got me on that one because he doesn't look settled. Like the Pittsburgh game in Pittsburgh, when he came back, he made big throws. He made a big throw in Miami, but it's like, now it's like, you want to see more. The last couple of weeks have been rough, man. It's like he just doesn't seem in sync. Whether it's he doesn't feel confident in blocking in front of him. Like last week, he missed 2 throws that drove me crazy. One to Azuma, one to Mims. It's just like, and like when he rolls out, he's rolling to the left. Doesn't seem comfortable going to the left, but he's always going to the left instead of to the right. But he's all the talent in the world. And the one thing I wonder about is he doesn't have any turnovers, but he's holding on to the ball a long period of time. So is he not trusting his eyes? Is he scared to make that throw in fear of turnovers? Like, I just don't know, how they're handling him, what they're telling him. And I almost wish at times they change the tempo up on him. Like, let him go no huddle, or let him go hurry up, let him roll out. Like, let him be him a little bit more. And I think he can do things. I just think there's so many playmakers, man. We talked about it so many times. Like, there's so many guys who are just get him the ball. 3-step drop, let it fly. Like I watch the Jaguars, Giants. I watch all these other teams with young quarterbacks and see what they're doing. And it looks so simple, man. Like they don't think, like Trevor Lawrence, step back, throw it. Daniel Jones. We saw it when the Jets played Miami and the backup quarterback came in. He was throwing it. Like it just has to look easier for him. And I'm not sure if it's he's thinking too much, he's trying too hard, but they've got to figure it out. Like I like Zach. I'm probably one of his biggest defenders, but it's like, all right, you've won 4 in a row. The running game, the defense is probably carrying you right now the last 2 games. But now you've got to pull your weight yourself a little bit more. Like no turnovers is a good starting point, but now you've got to become a difference maker where you can make impact plays in the passing game.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's why you draft a guy second overall. You don't draft a quarterback second overall to hold the team back. So, you kind of want to see that development over time, like you said. But man, it's funny too, because like you brought up a good point. I feel like when Zach's at his best, it's almost like when he just has like the effort mentality, like, you know what, we're down by 2 scores or we're down by a score. Like we got to get to the end zone. And that's really, well, like going back to college when BYU struggled, they didn't really struggle that much, but when they did, that's really where I felt like Zach was at his best, where it's just like tight game, like this is it, kind of like this last kind of hoorah, like we got to make something happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like when it's super calculated and there's so much thinking and there's so much, over analyzing and everything like that, that's where the problems start to arise, and there's incompletions and there's overthrows, and you could just tell like he's holding on the football for so long. But for the Jets fans out there, because like there was this little like segment with Chris Sims, and he was basically saying like, going after the Jets fans and whatnot for, essentially wanting more out of Zach Wilson. To me, I don't really think it's all that fair. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like Zach Wilson is Brett Rippon. It's not like he's, Bailey Zappi, where he's like a mid-round pick and he's just like, or Chris Streveler or Skylar Thompson. I mean, again, was the second overall pick. Like we can look at all these young quarterbacks having success, like Justin Fields on Monday night against, this Pats defense. So I'm with you. I'm expecting a little bit more from Wilson. If he could just pick it up a little bit, I'm not saying a lot, if he could throw for 200 and complete maybe 4 or 5 more passes throughout the game, I think that's going to be fine with me, as long as the turnovers stay low and the efficiency, creeps up over time. That's cool with me. I really think the defense can carry this team, as crazy as it sounds, to the playoffs.
Yeah, and like the whole Chris Sims thing, it's like I don't understand when people pick on Jet fans, because a lot of us aren't saying Zach's the bust. We're not saying he sucks. We're not saying any of that. We're just saying, you know what? There's room in his game to improve, and you could see it. You could visibly see it. And it's like there's always the caveat. Well, he played this defense. He played this. He played that. We understand that, but you're missing easy throws, like the little things. It's not saying, you know what, you got to throw for 400 yards every week, but like we're being reasonable about it. Our requests aren't a lot. Saying, you know what? Those easy throws, you got to start making. You got to be a lot more consistent as a quarterback. Yes, you have escapability. Yes, you buy time. Yes, you do all that. But as you go into your second year and into your third year, you've got to show those significant signs of growth. And the last couple of weeks, he hasn't shown that. And the thing is with Jet fans, which Chris Sims doesn't say, is when he does very well, we give him tons of credit for it. Like the Pittsburgh game, we praise him. Like it's not like Jet fans say every week say Zach Wilson sucks. No, we all want to see him do well. We all have we all want the same thing. We want to see him grow as a quarterback, become a franchise quarterback by year 3, and take off and give him the big contract and let him be our hero. That's what we all want. But along the way, dude, it's like you can't ignore certain things. Like you gotta be fair and say, listen, the kid's struggling. It's fair to say that, but he can improve, right? Like it's like I don't know why we're getting attacked for these comments.
Yeah, dude. Man, I honestly don't get it. Like when I watched the clip, I was a little shocked, because I thought he was going to, have like the fans back, Zach, like just say, hey, this organization is winning and Zach's struggling a little bit here and there, but he's going to pick it up. I don't think any fan is upset that this team is winning games. I mean, they're 5-2.
No.
I don't think anybody's like, oh man, this sucks. We're winning, but Zach Wilson's horrible. Like, I really don't think that's the mindset whatsoever. But I will say, like, Wilson is the most, or I guess the most coveted quarterback that the Jets have had in a long time. And he
Yep.
also has the help. Like Geno Smith didn't have this help.
Nope.
Bryce Petty didn't have this help. Josh McCown didn't have this help. Sam Darnold didn't have this help. And he's with the same coaching staff. He's in the same system.
Yep.
The roster continues to get better. So I think, yeah, man, we're pretty much in the same boat when it comes to Wilson. Last question, then I'll let you go. I know it's super late here. Elijah Moore requested the trade. Seems like everything is fine now. Where do you stand on that whole situation? Are you kind of over it, or do you want to put it to bed, or are you still kind of thinking like maybe this is going to resurface later on the season, or in
I
following
was
seasons?
so disappointed, dude. I'm an Elijah Moore fan. I was like a big supporter. I thought breakout year this year. I thought he's like the ultimate team guy, a guy you build your, him and Garrett Wilson can be the two receivers for the, foreseeable future. This comes out and I was completely disappointed because you have so many guys that are selfless on this team. Dwayne Brown's playing with an injury. AVT was playing all over the field. You could have played, wherever. He's bouncing all around. Uzuma's giving up his carry. Like everybody's sacrificing for the better team to win football games. And you're winning games and you say, you know what? I want out. So I'm like, that's ridiculous. I don't understand it. I don't respect it, especially where the team is. Like, this is not the time. So now he's back in practice today. And it's like, do you trust you're going to get max effort out of him? Is it going to become a distraction? Is Zach going to feel pressure to throw him the ball? Is Mike LaFleur going to be pressured to get him involved in the offense when it's like you have so many other playmakers? Like Garrett Wilson could bitch and moan right now. He's not getting he's not getting 10 catches a game. Like nobody is. Like you're passing for 100 yards a game. Like what do you expect? So it's a distraction. And I'm kind of hoping that the Jets kind of say, listen, we're not going to trade you by November 1st unless we get blown away with an offer, which are probably not going to because he's accomplished nothing in the NFL, So it's like, listen, man, ride it out. You give us your best effort for the rest of the season. We'll try to do our best to make you better. And then if you want to be traded at the end of the season, we'll make it happen. But it's not going to happen now. Like we need you now. You need us. We're united. So let's make a handshake deal, get the best numbers you can get. And then, once the season's over, we'll find your way out of here or something. Because what else are you going to do? Like there's nothing. I mean, it's an ugly situation. And my biggest fear, to be honest with you, is it's fine now because the Jets are winning. And the offense is struggling, the Jets are winning. If the offense struggles and the Jets start losing, then it's going to start blowing up, man. Because then that's going to be a distraction. He's going to be asked for comments. It's going to be that little rift you don't need. So I'm hoping they find a way to get over it and just make it some kind of agreement and move on. But man, like guys like Samini are waiting for something bad to happen and just pounce on it and make this an enormous story. Or it was a big story, but I think there's that tendency to still be there. And it's a long answer. But the other thing is you don't know how the teammates are, because if you look at some of the comments from Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner, CJ Mosley, they all took shots at him, man. Like nobody's bigger than the team. So they took their shots. So is Elijah Moore meeting his teammates? Is he going to stand in front of the conference room and say, you know what? My bad. I screwed up. How is he going to handle it? Is he going to meet the media and address the fans? The fans are all pissed at him. Like at some point you got to squash all of it. And I'm not sure how they're going to do it.
Yeah, man. I'm with you. Like I was shocked. I was disappointed. Like I was blown away. Like I remember looking down at my phone and like I legit thought that the tweet came from like a fake account. And then I click on Rappaport. I'm like, this is real. Like Elijah Moore's literally wanting out. Like it's not even been a year and a half, with his tenure, not only just with the Jets, but in the NFL as a whole. And he already wants to leave, and this team is winning games. And it's not like Wilson is like Mahomes or Josh Allen. He's completing, 29, 39 passes a game. It's like, no, he completed 10 against the Green Bay Packers. Like, there's only so many passes to go around. I don't want Saleh to be in a situation, or I guess Mike LaFleur to be in a situation. And I guess this goes for Zach Wilson too, where it's game day, big game this week against the Patriots. And it's like, oh, Elijah Moore's playing. We have this really good play, or Garrett Wilson's open, but now it creeps into Zach Wilson's head. Like, oh, I have to make sure Moore's happy. So like, let me look his way. Or he might be in double coverage, but if I don't throw this ball, he might get a little angry or might say something on the sidelines. Like, let me just throw it anyway. Or Mike LaFleur, have a good play call drawn up. But it's like, you know what? We haven't really gotten more involved. It's been, a quarter. Let's actually scrap this. We'll do it later. Let's do up a screen for more. And you're essentially putting one player above, 52. And Yeah, I
Can't
guess
do
even
that,
more
man.
if you want to factor in the coaching staff as well. So I don't want that to be an issue. I'm hoping more, whenever he addresses it or whenever he gets media time, can just say like, hey, I wish I was utilized more. I feel like I'm a talented guy. I feel like I could contribute. Everybody wants to do
Yep.
that. Um, and long term, maybe it does work out, maybe it doesn't, but at least for this season, we're like you said, man, like united,
Yeah.
and we're all a part of the New York Jets, and we just want wins at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they're 5-2. Like you're like, you beat the Patriots, you're 6-2. You're talking playoffs, man. Like we talked about it earlier. I mean, you go 4-6, you're gonna be 9-8. Like you go
Yep.
5-5, you're in the playoffs. Like there's so many positive things around this team. Like everybody's fired up for Sunday. There's all these great things. You have the feel good story of Sauce and all this great stuff. This is the last thing you need. And it's like the guys in the locker room have got to be like, bro, are you serious? Like we are like living our best life in New York. Like when you're winning in New York, dude, New York, New Jersey, you're going to get sponsorships. You're going to get endorsements. You're going to get free tickets. You're going to be at the Knicks game, the Yankee game. Like, you're going to be everywhere because everybody loves winning teams in New York. How could you be having a problem with it? It's just wild. And it's like, hopefully, like cooler heads prevail here and they figure it out. He's going to have to meet the media sooner or later. And, he's had all his tweets out there now with all his other stuff. But it's like, at some point, somebody's got to advise him, listen, man, you're either in or you're out. You're fully in, fully vested for the rest of the year, or you're going to be out. You're going to be inactive. And that's it. Like, you're not going to get your targets. You're not going to get anything. You're not going to get traded. So you're going to be sitting every Sunday. And that's kind of where it's got to have to go.
Yeah, man. Totally. It's so disappointing, man. I'm hoping, and by the way, sorry I look absolutely horrible. Like this light died. I'm looking at my screen. I'm just like one like glitched thing. But dude, I appreciate you hopping on, man.
No, dude, this is awesome. I can do these every day. You're so easy to talk to, man. It's like, and it's if we're all happy, we're all fired up. It's like, I can't wait for Sunday.
Are you going to the game, by the way?
I'm going, man. I had to. I wasn't gonna go, but I'm like, how do you not go to this game? The crowd's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be, like, you can't miss games like this.
Yeah, dude. Well, yo, have fun. I appreciate you hopping on, man. And by the way, everybody, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows where to find you at this point, but let everybody know just in case.
Just Tyson, man. Let's talk Jets. We stream Mondays and Tuesdays. We're not as professional and as well prepared as Ian is all the time. We're a little more chaotic and stuff like that, but let's talk Jets on YouTube, and we just have a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. And all of his links are going to be, listed down below in the description box, Instagram, Twitter, of course, his YouTube channel as well. Tyson, thanks so much, bro.